So if you normally just slice up a lot of these little hits and stuff out of a track, they're too short and abrupt. That you know, like, as I'm literally just luckily, I mean, these guys actually offered afterwards that said, you know what, we'd love you to play our track. We'll send you the parts. I'm like, thanks, I've already done it, but next time. But so something I've figured out, which made it a hell of a lot easier, is I used to kind of do this stuff to, you know, rip off people's kick drums and stuff too. Same kind of thing. It's the same principle. I take the stabs like, wait, where's the shorter one from this section? So I've taken each stab and cut it into just, I've halved the timing but moved them across. I've slowed down the tempo to 100 BPM. I've got the same thing underneath, which is full length but time stretched. I think it's just on Complex Pro. Yeah, that seems to work the best. And then they're side chaining each other. So this top one with the attack is triggering a side chain for the bottom one. So you get the attack of the original, which is still got all its transient bite, and that punches through over the sidechain one to give you a bit of tail and a bit of length. So at least I'm doubling roughly the length of it, and then from there I can set like a loop point on the sample on here as well, so that it loops at the end. A little bit of reverb, this and that, and eventually you get what sounds like full stabs. Same kind of thing for the kick drums as well, like looping little end pieces as well helps that as well. And it is a little bit like surgery, but as long as the track's not too complicated, it's not too hard to pull some of these things apart, and you can make some really fun kits out of this stuff. Let me see, there's another one here. I think those are all big hits. Those ones. Oh, yep, that's where I got those ones again. So there's the time stretch and the attacky ones. Oh, all together. And I think some of the longer ones I kept, and like anything that's a higher note, you can obviously pitch down and then it's going to become longer as well. So that helps too, to get more tail in there. What else could I say about that? The, you have a question? Yeah?
How long are the actual exported pieces that you're doing?
Like about that long as on the screen, like maybe whatever that is, a second, 2 seconds or something.
Okay, so you're just taking that one. You're just taking that one section and
exporting
it.
Like,
you're not taking the whole section to be played on Maschine.
No, right? Like I'd sample this piece here. I'd probably loop this whole thing here, and I'd chuck that into Maschine, and then I'd just copy it to each pad, and each one I'd just change the start point and or the region of what it's triggering. Editing audio on here, like the start and end point, is actually quite quick and easy. I really like it. Like it brings up a waveform on here. You've got a start and end point controller and a zoom, and it's pretty fast, man. So I quite like that. And yeah, all this stuff I was playing before, they're all single hits. There's no loops. It's like if I play it slower, it goes slower. If I stop, it stops. It's like playing drums.
You're just doing that to preserve your transients, right? The end tails and things.
Yeah, because if you just listen to it, if I just play just the straight up time stretch one, there's like no bite to it anymore. Doesn't sound like the real thing anymore. So if I bring in the other one, but without the extra tails, because that's all taken from, I can find the actual piece. Let's put it back on the original tempo. This is the bit coming up here where I heard it and go, hang on, that's it. It goes solo. There's just enough, just to grab that one bit. And then you can redo it from there. A couple of sounds I was missing, like the white noise. little beepy sounds, but they're like easy sounds to remake. So I just remade them in Massive. The synth I probably use the most, Massive, and sometimes Silent. But yeah, they're probably the get the approval. Yeah, all right. Sure. Oh, yep.
So, do you resample what you just did back into Maschine? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, I'll like start the editing of the track in Ableton because it's a little bit more accurate. Actually, even though more so, I just think it's because I like the time stretching better. I've tried to do the same trick in just purely in Maschine. It's nice that they've got time stretching in here now, but it's not quite as nice as the Complex Pro for such complicated material as like a stab or something. So yeah, I'll set it up in here, make it slower so I can make the stabs longer, then resample it back into. I'll either like export it as an audio file, or if I've got Maschine live in the session, you can set it up so that it physically pipes in and you just sample it like normal on Maschine and it samples in. Otherwise, you'd export it to an audio file and just drag it and drop it onto the pad, and it's then it's in. Hi, I'm Bass Kleph, DJ and producer from Australia. I release music on Vacation Records and have also released on Ministry of Sound, Spinning, Toolroom, Defected, One Love, and a bunch more. So far, I've even been lucky enough to have 2 of my tracks hit the #1 spot on Beatport. I've been DJing for a long time, but recently started performing on Maschine as well. It's been so much fun to play live with this thing that I started using it in the studio too. Now I think I use it on almost every track I do. So when the guys at Pyramind asked if I'd like to share a few tips on how to get started, of course I was down. The class is a beginner's guide to Maschine. I'm going to show you how things work on Maschine, and then I'm going to explain and run you through things like writing beats, adding bass lines, using effects, sequencing, arranging, and a few tips and tricks too. It was a lot of fun recording these lessons, and I can't wait to show you guys just how easy it is to get started on Maschine. So just follow the links to Pyramind, and I'll see you in class.